Yes, children. So here we are going to see the major roles of the opposition party. Okay, so as I told you people, opposition party plays an important role. Okay, so it will help the the ruling party to do the healthy functions. Okay, it will help the ruling party to do the healthy functions and highlights the drawbacks. Okay, if anything for example the ruling party is taking any bad decision, so that time the opposition party have a rights to question them, rights to criticize them. Okay, they can put those policies and they the policies down, they can criticize the policies or the decisions which they have been taken or the programs which the government has undertaken. Okay, for example, now which is our opposition party? Yes, it is Indian National Congress. Okay, and the ruling party is BJP. If the BJP government is doing something wrong, are the decisions, are the policies, or the programs, whatever it is taking, something wrong to the society, of course, the opposition party, that is the Indian National Congress, have rights to question them, rights to criticize them, and they can get the the information about those policies or the programs. They can get the valuable feedback of those the policies which they are doing, how it is going to help the society. Okay, this is the way the parliament control, guides, informs the government. Okay, and even this opposition party can show, or then it can express the ideas of the people, demands of the people. Okay, hope you guys are understanding, right? The first thing we understood about the formation of the national government, and the second one, it is the parliament. It controls, guides, and informs the government. So for example, the MPs, or MPs have rights to question the ministers of the ruling party. Okay, the government, and they can question them, what are the policies they are going to do, what are the well-being activities or the programs they're going to do for the society, and how it is helping the society. Okay, and same way opposition party have rights to question them, and they have rights to ask them to make the good policies, and if the policies from the ruling party is doing something wrong, or if it is not good in the society, good for the society, then of course opposition party have rights to criticize them, oppose them, question the political the ruling party, and it have rights to get the feedback. Okay, this is how this is how the parliament works, controls, guides, and inform the government to do the better work, to do healthy functions to the society, or for the well-being of the society. Okay, yes, and the third one, it is lawmaking. So what do you mean by lawmaking? Yes, children, that is they will be making some new laws for the betterment of the society. So first thing we can see it is, in the next chapter, it is in detail we'll be seeing. That is what I'm telling you people. I'm just continuing the second chapter here only. Okay, you just understand here. The first thing, it is first reading, that means introduction stage. So whatever may be the laws they want to do, they have to pass the bill. So that is what they'll call it as a introduction stage. And the second reading is considered as a discussion stage. That means they will be discussing about that particular bill, how it is going to be the good for the society, what are the advantages or what are the disadvantages if they adopt that. All that they will be doing in the parliament, both in the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. And the third reading, it is voting stage. That means our representatives will be showing their, yes, whether they are agreeing or not for that particular bill, whether those people are agreeing, or whether they are happy with that bill, or whether they are not happy with that bill. They will be showing their interest through the voting. Okay, and then that is the final, it is the president's assent. So finally the president assent will be there. That means the president has to agree for that particular bill. So finally that bill will be considered as a law. Okay, the bill will be passed or considered as a law. Hope you guys are understanding, right? What are the different stages we will be having in lawmaking? The first, it is the introduction stage, the first reading, and the second reading, it is about discussion. For example, even take it as an example in your home, children. So you want to do something, or some new laws if you are just doing in your home, the new routine if your people are starting. So of course, first you will be asking your parents, and you all will be sitting and discussing about that idea. Yes or no? So once you all discuss about that idea, you will be asking the suggestions of your, the parents. So what everyone will be. And finally, your father or your grandfather's, the opinion will be important. Then only you will be going to implement that idea. Yes or no? Same way here also, the president, the final, the decisions will be taken by president. Okay. Hope you guys are understanding, right? See here. And the next thing, who are the people in the parliament? So who all will be there in the parliament? Yes, as we know, India is a diversified country. Yes or no, children? We can see different language, different culture, different religion, different caste. Yes or no? So here what happened? The people from the different background we will be having in the parliament. Different language, different, the background, different states, different culture. Okay, and the one more thing, their seats are reserved. Okay, we have reservation for the people like scheduled caste, scheduled, the tribes, and the Adivasis, like that the different people we have. For them we have some reservations also. Okay, so here we'll be having the people of different background, different culture, different language, and the different caste, everything. Okay, see here, MPs elected, and they will be represent Dalit and Adivasi interest in the parliament. So even we have the Dalit and Adivasi interest in the parliaments. We have some reservation for the SC, STs, and even for the Adivasis also. Okay, and reservation for the women, and even we have the reservation for the women also. Okay, but see here, the reservation is very less. Around, the 60 years ago, just 4% of the MPs, it is reserved for the women category. But today, about 9% we have the reservation for women. But just consider, half of the population is women, but only the 9% reservation we have in our Indian Parliament. Is it good, children? Think of that. Okay. So hope you guys are understanding, right? So who are all there in the Indian Parliament? We have from the different background, different communities, and we have some reservation for the people, reservation for the, the Dalit, Adivasis, and even for the women also. Okay, see here. The Parliament can introduce new laws and change the old ones. So here what happens? In our parliament, they have the rights to introduce the new laws, and even they have rights to change the old law. Okay, so what they have to do for that? A law is first introduced in the form of a bill. So as I told you in the last concept, we have to understand how we'll be law making. That is, a law is first introduced in the form of bill. Then it has to be, see here, a bill is the draft of a proposed law. So if we are going to propose some new law, we have to pass a bill. That is, we have to introduce the bill in the form of a bill. and we can see what are the categories of bills are there. That means if we want to do some new laws, we have to introduce the the bill in the form of bill. What are the categories of bill we can see? One, it is money bill, ordinary bill, and the constitutional bill. So we can see here money bill, ordinary bill, and the constitutional bill. So coming to the money bill, introduced only in the Lok Sabha and only by the ruling party. It is money bill means it is all about the monetary terms. Okay, it will be about the monetary terms. So it will be introduced only by the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. And Lok Sabha is more powerful on the issue of money bill. Children, this is not there in your textbook. It's all the additional information you have to understand. This is very much important. Okay. And the speaker of the Lok Sabha has to certify it as the money bill. So the speaker, what is the role of speaker? You can see. Okay. The speaker of the Lok Sabha has to certify it as a money bill, because only in the Lok Sabha we have to introduce this money bill. After 3 readings in the Lok Sabha, the bill is sent to the Rajya Sabha. So this money bill, after reading 3 times in the Lok Sabha, it can be passed to the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can only make suggestions. So here in the Rajya Sabha, it doesn't have rights to change, or delete the bill. Okay, it doesn't have rights to deny the bill. It have rights only to suggest, the changes. If any changes, only make the suggestions. If any small changes, it can do. Okay, see here. We understood about the money bill. And the next thing, it is ordinary bills. Any member may introduce and can introduce either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. Both in Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha, it can be introduced. Once the bill is passed in the house after their readings, it goes to the other house. Either if it is in the first in the Rajya Sabha, then it goes to the Lok Sabha, or first in the Lok Sabha, then it goes to the Rajya Sabha. If the second house wants to change the bill, it may send to the house where it is originated. For example, Lok Sabha doesn't want to continue with this, then it can send back to the Rajya Sabha. If the house of origin refuses to make change, up to 6 months, the deadlock is created. If they don't want to change make any changes, then it can prolong till the 6 months. Then the president will call for a joint session of both the houses. Then they will be having a joint meeting from both the houses, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Okay. See, after discussion, the bill will be passed. So after both the discussion from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the bill will be passed. Then it goes to the president. If the president signs the bill, then it becomes a law. So you people understood the making of the law. Okay. So finally, when the president is agreed, then a bill is become like a act. Okay, that is a law. This law is then called as the act. Hope you guys understood, right? Yes. Then the next it is about the constitutional bill. This is used to the constitutional amendment. If any changes in the constitution, that is used for the constitutional bill, and this can be introduced either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, both either in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha it can be issued. These are all the questions, guys. You people just go through and make a note of that. And one more thing, children, making of law, it is very much important. 3 types of bills is very much important. So before the next class, I want you all to thorough with these concepts. Okay, the 3 types of bills: money bill, ordinary bill, and the constitutional bill. Okay, where the money bill will be passed and where the ordinary bill will be passed, and once the bill is agreed, then it will be considered as a law, and that law will be passed as a act. That you have to understand. Okay, and if you have any doubts, let me know, children. Thank you all. Study well. Have a nice